Your life at this moment is not the result of what happened to you. It's the result of the choices you've made. Where you are right now, what you have, who you are, it's all because of the decisions you've been making up until this point. And here's the truth. You've been given the power to choose. The moment you stop choosing average is the moment your life begins to change. Most people go through life walking on the verge of mediocrity, making just enough progress to avoid failure, but never truly succeeding. They don't know it, but they are paying a price. The price of not living fully, of not reaching their potential. Here's the thing, mediocrity is costly. It steals your time, your potential, your happiness. We live in a world that's obsessed with scarcity. The idea that there's not enough for everyone, that wealth is limited, and you have to fight for a piece of the pie. But here's what I've learned, the only scarcity that exists is the scarcity of belief. When you believe that you are worthy of wealth, worthy of success, worthy of abundance, that's when it starts showing up in your life. Stop thinking small. Stop settling for average, because wealth, true wealth, is limitless if you have the mindset to match. You see, life is a mirror. It reflects the standards we set for ourselves. If you set your sails high, you'll catch the winds of opportunity that blow in your direction. Too many people are drifting through life, living day by day, settling for whatever comes their way, accepting mediocrity as their lot. And then they wonder why things aren't working out, why they're stuck. But here's the truth. Greatness isn't something that happens by accident. It's something you must demand from yourself. When I was getting started, I didn't have much. In fact, I had nothing but ambition and a willingness to learn. But one thing I did have, right from the beginning, was a high standard for myself. I wasn't satisfied with being average, and I didn't intend to settle for what was easy. I knew that to get ahead, I had to expect more from myself than the world around me expected. I had to be willing to work harder, think smarter, and push further than most people would. It's not about being perfect. It's about striving for excellence and refusing to accept anything less than your best. When you set high standards, you align yourself with a future that reflects those standards. You see, your environment will always reflect the level of your thinking and effort. If you choose to play at a mediocre level, that's exactly what you'll get. Mediocre results, mediocre people, and a mediocre life. But if you raise your standards, everything changes. Your relationships, your career, your health, and even your finances begin to reflect the higher expectations you have for yourself. Think about a time when you've seen someone living with a high standard, whether it was a mentor, a teacher, or someone in your life who truly inspired you. These individuals aren't special in the sense that they have something you don't. They simply expect more of themselves, and because of that, they create extraordinary results. They walk into rooms with their heads held high, knowing that they've set a standard for excellence. And that's the key. They don't wait for the world to hand them greatness. They demand it from themselves. I remember when I was just starting out, I met a man who had built an extraordinary business, and I asked him, "What's the secret to your success?" And he told me something that stuck with me. The difference between good and great is setting high standards and refusing to lower them, no matter what. That's the moment I understood the power of high standards. It's not about having the most resources or being the most talented. It's about the discipline to hold yourself accountable to a higher level. When you set high standards, it doesn't mean life will be free of challenges. In fact, setting higher standards will invite obstacles because you're aiming for something above average, and the world doesn't always make it easy to achieve that. But what happens is that every time you overcome a challenge, every time you push through a difficult moment, your character strengthens and your capacity to achieve grows. And soon, what once seemed impossible becomes your reality. Success doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's not just about what you know or how hard you work. It's about who you know and who you surround yourself with. The relationships you build along the way will determine how far you can go in life. Think about it. No great success was ever achieved in isolation. Behind every successful person, there's a network of individuals who have influenced, supported, and propelled them forward. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so you'd better choose wisely. When I was getting started, I didn't have much, but I quickly realized that I didn't need to do everything alone. I needed people around me who were smarter than I was, people who would push me to grow, people who would help me see things I couldn't see on my own. That's when everything changed. I started investing my time in relationships with people who were not only successful, but also had a mindset of growth. They weren't content with where they were, and they certainly didn't settle for mediocrity. These people became my mentors, my partners, and my friends. The more I learned from them, the more I realized that success is about collaboration, not competition. When you surround yourself with people who are constantly challenging you, inspiring you, and teaching you, you begin to see possibilities you never imagined. The right people won't just let you stay where you are. They'll help you rise to where you could be. And that's why relationships are so critical in the journey to wealth and success. It's easy to think that success comes from just working harder, from pushing yourself alone to climb the ladder. But there's a truth in life that we often forget. Wealth isn't just about the hours you put in or the effort you exert. It's about the people you connect with along the way. Your network, the people who know you and trust you, will open doors for you that your skills alone cannot. I've seen this time and time again. People who are working tirelessly but not seeing results simply because they aren't connected to the right people. And then there's someone else who might not be as skilled or as hardworking, but they've got the right people around them. They find opportunities that others never even knew existed, and before long, they're ahead. But building relationships isn't just about what you can get out of them. It's about what you can contribute to. Successful relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared sense of purpose. It's not enough to just network with people who can help you. It's about being someone who can help others as well. When you focus on giving value to the people around you, you'll find that those relationships come back to you tenfold. The connections you make today could be the ones that change your future. Look at some of the most successful people in history. They didn't get to where they are because of raw talent alone. They got there because they knew how to build relationships, to form alliances, and to surround themselves with the best people. And you can do the same. Be intentional with the relationships you cultivate. Surround yourself with those who will challenge you, push you, and support your growth. The right network is your strongest asset, and it will be the key to unlocking your potential and creating wealth beyond what you can imagine. Life has a way of throwing curveballs at you. It's not a question of if you'll face setbacks, but when. Whether it's a failed business venture, a personal loss, or a moment of doubt, challenges will come and they'll test your resilience. But here's the truth. Setbacks aren't the end of the story. They're just a chapter. It's not what happens to you that defines your success, but how you respond to it. Every setback is simply a setup for a comeback, if you choose to see it that way. I remember a time in my life when I felt like everything was falling apart. I had worked hard, put in the effort, and still found myself facing failure. But rather than letting that failure define me, I made a decision. I wasn't going to let this setback stop me. I wasn't going to wish things were easier. Instead, I was going to get better. That's the mindset of those who truly succeed in life. You see, the difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't the obstacles they face. It's their ability to turn those obstacles into opportunities for growth. When setbacks happen, and they will, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to throw in the towel and say, maybe I'm not cut out for this. But the most successful people in the world don't see setbacks as failures. They see them as stepping stones. They understand that every setback is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back even stronger. You don't get stronger by avoiding challenges. You get stronger by facing them head on, by learning from them, and by using them to propel you forward. I've seen people quit just before their breakthrough because they couldn't handle the weight of failure. But the ones who endure, who keep pushing forward, are the ones who create something truly great. They understand that resilience isn't about avoiding pain or hardship. It's about bouncing back when things don't go as planned. It's about staying in the game when everyone else has given up. It's about believing that failure is just a temporary setback and that success is still within reach, no matter how far off it may seem. Let me tell you a story. There was a time when a business I had worked tirelessly on failed miserably. I could have packed it all up, quit, and blamed the economy or circumstances. But I didn't. I knew that if I wanted to create something truly worthwhile, I had to become resilient. I had to find the lesson in my failure, pick myself up, and keep moving forward. And that's exactly what I did. It wasn't easy, but that setback became the fuel for my future success. It taught me more about what works and what doesn't than any success ever could have. Resilience is about persistence. It's about having the strength to keep going when things get tough. It's about maintaining your focus when everything seems uncertain. Life will always test you, but it's how you respond to the test that will make all the difference. Don't wish for an easier journey. Wish for the strength to endure it, to overcome it, and to turn every setback into a comeback. Remember, the road to success is not a straight path. There will be bumps, detours, and setbacks along the way. But the key to getting where you want to go is resilience. Keep your head high, stay focused, and turn those setbacks into comebacks. Because the truly successful don't quit when things get tough. They get tougher, and they keep moving forward one step at a time. That's how you build lasting wealth and success, and that's how you'll ultimately take charge of your life. Living a life without purpose is like sailing without a destination. You may be moving, but you're not getting anywhere meaningful. When you lack purpose, you're drifting through life, reacting to whatever comes your way, never truly in control. But once you discover your why, your deeper inner reason for doing what you do, that's when everything changes. That's when life starts to have direction and your efforts begin to compound into something greater than just fleeting success. I'll tell you, there was a time in my life when I was running in circles, putting in the work, but I was unfulfilled. I was doing things because I thought I was supposed to, because that's what everyone else was doing. But the moment I asked myself, why am I doing this, everything began to shift. That's when I realized that wealth and success are not just about accumulating money. It's about fulfilling your purpose, aligning your actions with your deepest values, and making a difference in the lives of others. When you find your why, you'll find your how. You see, knowing why you do something will give you the clarity and the drive to figure out the how. Without a purpose, the how seems confusing and distant. But when you are driven by a powerful reason, obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become mere stepping stones. Purpose isn't just motivation. It's your inner compass, guiding you through challenges, doubts, and setbacks. When you know your purpose, it lights the way, even in the darkest times. Think about the people who truly inspire you, the ones who achieve extraordinary things in their lives, whether it's in business, philanthropy, or leadership. What do they all have in common? They have a strong sense of purpose. They know why they're doing what they do, and because of that, they're willing to sacrifice, to work tirelessly, and to push through adversity. Their purpose keeps them going when everything else tells them to stop. Take a moment and ask yourself, what is your why? What drives you? It's not just about making money or gaining recognition. It's about understanding what makes you come alive, what excites you, and what you want your life to stand for. Once you find that, everything you do becomes a reflection of that deeper purpose. Your actions will align with your values, and that's when you start living authentically. That's when true wealth begins. Not just financial wealth, but wealth in terms of fulfillment, impact, and personal growth. I can tell you from experience, living with purpose is what makes everything else worthwhile. It transforms work into passion and success into something far deeper than just a paycheck. When you align your life with your purpose, every challenge you face becomes an opportunity to fulfill your greater mission. It's no longer just about reaching a destination. It's about embracing the journey, knowing that every step you take is bringing you closer to your true calling. So if you're feeling lost, or if you're simply going through the motions, I encourage you to pause and ask yourself, what is my why? Find that deep, unshakable reason that will fuel you when times get tough, and hold on to it tightly. Because once you discover your purpose, you'll no longer have to chase success. It will naturally come to you, driven by the force of your passion and dedication. When you know your why, your how will become clear, and you'll find the strength and determination to keep going no matter what. Let your purpose be the fire that fuels your ambition, the light that guides you through the darkness, and the reason that propels you to create the life and wealth you desire. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of the moment, to focus on what's right in front of you, the bills that need to be paid, the deals that need to be closed, the next promotion you're chasing. And while it's important to take care of today's needs, True success comes from thinking beyond the immediate. It's about having a vision for the future and making decisions today that will pay off not just next week or next month, but for the rest of your life. There was a time when I was just like everyone else, chasing the quick fix, the fast return. I was working hard, but the results were fleeting. I wanted the rewards now, not realizing that the real wealth comes from playing the long game. It wasn't until a mentor asked me a simple yet profound question. What will pay you for life? That question shifted my entire mindset. You see, short-term gains can make you feel successful for a moment. But it's the long-term vision, the dedication to building something that lasts, that creates true wealth. When you start thinking long-term, you stop making decisions based on immediate gratification and start making choices that will serve you and those around you for years to come. It's about planting seeds today, knowing that the fruits of your labor won't be harvested overnight. But when they do come, they will be abundant, sustainable, and life-changing. Take the time to think about where you want to be in 10, 20, or even 30 years. What kind of life do you want to have? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? Building wealth isn't just about accumulating money. It's about creating a life that provides you with freedom, options, and peace of mind for the long haul. It's about building habits that compound over time. Habits like investing in your education, nurturing relationships, and consistently putting in the work toward your goals. Think of it like planting a tree. If you want the tree to grow tall and strong, you don't rush it. You water it, care for it, and give it time to mature. Wealth works the same way. It doesn't happen overnight, but with patience, discipline, and long-term effort, it can grow into something extraordinary. Many of the most successful people you admire today didn't build their wealth overnight. They made smart, long-term decisions years ago that have paid off over time. I've learned that the key is consistency. It's not the big, flashy moves that create wealth. It's the small, disciplined actions you take every day that add up over time. Whether it's saving a portion of your income, investing in assets that appreciate over time, or continuously improving your skills, these actions compound and grow in ways that can be life-changing. But more than just financial wealth, thinking long-term also applies to other areas of life. When you focus on long-term relationships, the bonds you create today will serve you well throughout your life. When you focus on your health, the habits you form today will pay off in the future. It's about taking a step back and considering what your future self will thank you for, and then making decisions that align with that vision. Don't get trapped in the quick fix mentality. It's tempting to look for shortcuts, but remember, the path to lasting wealth requires dedication and patience. If you're focused on what will pay you for life, the rewards will come, and they'll last far beyond what any short-term gain could offer. So I ask you today, don't just think about what's easy or convenient right now. Think about what will pay you for life. Make choices today that will create a future filled with abundance, freedom, and peace of mind. The long-term vision is where true wealth lies. Build for the future, and you'll find that the future will take care of itself. Rejection is something we all face. It's part of the process of striving for something greater. It's easy to think that a no means you're not good enough or that you're failing. But let me tell you this, rejection is not a dead end. It's simply a redirection. When you hit a roadblock, it doesn't mean you've reached the end of the road. It's just life telling you to adjust your course and keep moving forward. The truly successful aren't those who never face rejection. They're the ones who understand that rejection is just part of the journey and they use it to fuel their growth. I can remember early in my career, when I was just getting started, I faced my fair share of rejection. Opportunities that didn't work out, ideas that were shot down, deals that fell apart. I could have let those rejections stop me in my tracks, but instead, I realized they were opportunities in disguise. Each no was feedback telling me where I needed to improve or showing me a different path I hadn't considered. Think about the times in your own life when you've faced rejection. Maybe it was a job you didn't get, a business deal that didn't go through, or a relationship that ended. It's easy to take those moments personally, to believe they define you. But if you shift your perspective, you'll see that rejection is merely a signpost on the road to success. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's just an indication that you need to try a different approach. The people who succeed are those who don't let rejection stop them. Instead, they use it as a catalyst for growth. I've seen this play out time and again with people I know. Some of the most successful individuals I've met have faced rejection countless times. What set them apart wasn't that they were immune to failure. It was their ability to see rejection as a necessary part of the process. They didn't take it personally. They didn't see it as a reflection of their abilities. They saw it for what it truly was, feedback that would ultimately lead them to the right path. When you encounter rejection, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Rather than wallowing in disappointment, use it as an opportunity to refine your approach. Perhaps you need to tweak your pitch, improve your skills, or try a new strategy. Every rejection brings with it a lesson that can propel you forward. In fact, many times, the greatest breakthroughs come after a series of setbacks. Take the story of Thomas Edison. He faced countless failures and rejections in his quest to invent the light bulb. People told him it couldn't be done, but instead of giving up, he viewed each failure as one step closer to success. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison understood that rejection wasn't the end of the road. It was just a detour leading to his ultimate goal. The same holds true for you. If you're facing rejection, don't take it as a sign that you should quit. Instead, ask yourself, how can I adjust? What can I do differently? Remember, every no you encounter brings you one step closer to a yes. Rejection is not a reflection of who you are. It's simply the universe guiding you toward the right opportunity. When you embrace rejection as part of the process, you stop fearing it. You stop letting it hold you back. Instead of avoiding it, you welcome it as feedback that will help you grow. Rejection is not failure. It's a redirection. Every time you face a setback, ask yourself, what's the lesson here? Use it to adjust your course and keep pushing forward. Because when you refuse to let rejection define you, you'll find that the road to success becomes clearer and the opportunities that await you become even greater. Keep going and don't let rejection stop you from pursuing your dreams. Life isn't a straight line. It's more like a winding road with twists and turns. And the path to wealth, it's no different. The journey to creating something great requires growth, change, and a willingness to reinvent yourself along the way. I've seen too many people cling to outdated versions of themselves, thinking they have to stay the same because that's who they've always been. But let me tell you this, you are not obligated to be who you were 5 years ago or even 5 minutes ago. If you want to create wealth, you must be willing to leave behind old habits, outdated beliefs, and comfort zones. I remember a time when I was stuck in a particular mindset, too focused on what I knew, not willing to step outside my comfort zone. But then I realized that wealth, success, and personal growth come from one place: reinvention. And reinvention doesn't mean starting from scratch. It means evolving, expanding your knowledge, learning new skills, and letting go of things that no longer serve you. It means constantly becoming the best version of yourself. Take a look at the most successful people, whether in business, sports, or life. They understand the importance of reinvention. They don't just rely on what they did yesterday. They look for ways to improve today, to refine, to grow. And that doesn't always mean big, dramatic changes. Sometimes it's small, consistent efforts, like picking up a new book, attending a seminar, learning a new skill, that lead to the biggest shifts in your life. Reinvention isn't always easy. It's uncomfortable at times. It may even feel like you're stepping into the unknown. But I assure you, the rewards are worth it. Each time you reinvent yourself, you become more adaptable, more resilient, and more prepared to seize the opportunities that come your way. The truth is, if you're not evolving, you're standing still, and that's a dangerous place to be. The world is constantly changing, and if you don't keep up, you risk being left behind. So, embrace the change, don't resist it, reinvent yourself today, and keep moving forward toward the success and wealth you deserve. Remember, growth is the key to everything. Every time you embrace change, you open the door to new opportunities, and in time, you'll see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. The secret to creating lasting wealth doesn't lie in the external circumstances, the economy, or the opportunities that others give you. The secret is in you. It's in your personal development, the constant growth of your skills, mindset, and character. Wealth is not just about accumulating money. It's about expanding your capacity to create and receive more in every area of your life. Your income will only grow to the extent that you do, and this is a truth that every successful person understands. There was a time in my life when I was focused solely on my job. I worked hard, long hours, and I thought that would be enough to get me ahead. But my mentor showed me a different way of thinking. He said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. At first, I didn't quite understand. I thought, how could that make sense? I need to work hard at my job to be successful. But he was right. It wasn't just the hours I put in that would create wealth. It was the person I was becoming in the process. I began to invest in myself. I started reading books, not just to pass the time, but to learn. I sought out knowledge that would help me grow as a person, both professionally and personally. I made it a habit to study successful people, their mindsets, their strategies, and their habits. The more I learned, the more I realized that the key to creating wealth is developing the person you need to be to handle it. Your skills, your mindset, and your ability to lead yourself determine your ability to create wealth. The more you grow and expand your knowledge, the more opportunities you attract. People don't just want to work with someone who has a good job. They want to work with someone who's constantly improving, who has the vision and the ability to create results. Personal development isn't just about learning more. It's about becoming more. It's about expanding your mind, refining your habits, and strengthening your character. It's about becoming a person who attracts wealth, success, and abundance naturally because you are worthy of it. You see, when you invest in yourself, you're setting yourself up for a life of abundance. You become someone who is not limited by the past or by circumstances. You break free from the limitations that once held you back. And the opportunities, they will come. They will come in ways you never imagined, in forms you never expected. But all of this starts with you. So take the time every day to invest in yourself. Read, learn, grow, and build a mindset that will allow you to attract the wealth and success you deserve, because when you develop yourself, you unlock the true potential for greatness, and you'll find that wealth follows naturally. Wealth isn't just about money, it's about knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation upon which everything else is built. When you think about the most successful people in history, they didn't accumulate wealth by chance. They accumulated it because they understood the power of knowledge and how to apply it. If you want to create lasting wealth, one of the most important things you can do is commit to learning every single day. Knowledge is leverage. Every bit of it adds value to your life, your decisions, and your future. I remember a time when I was stuck in a job, working hard, but feeling like I was going nowhere. I was doing the same things day in and day out, expecting a different result, and of course, it didn't happen. It wasn't until I realized the power of learning that things began to shift. My mentor once told me, what you learn is far more valuable than what you earn. At the time, I didn't fully grasp the magnitude of that statement, but I learned quickly that the more I invested in learning, the more opportunities started to open up for me. I began reading not just for entertainment, but for growth. I started with books on personal development, leadership, and finance. Slowly but surely, my mindset started to shift. I began to see opportunities where I had once seen obstacles. I could see the connections between the knowledge I was gaining and the success I was beginning to build. Knowledge doesn't just improve your decisions, it opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. Consider the difference between the average person and the successful person. The average person reads 1 or 2 books a year, maybe. They're content with what they know. The successful person, however, devours books. They understand that every book is a gateway to new possibilities, new strategies, and new ways of thinking. It's not just about accumulating information, it's about applying that knowledge to create value. The successful person knows that knowledge is not just a tool, it's an asset, an investment that yields returns for a lifetime. I'll tell you this, learning isn't limited to books. It's about learning from your experiences, from others, and from every challenge you face. Each piece of knowledge, whether gained from reading, from conversations with successful people, or from personal trial and error, builds the foundation for your future. Every new skill you acquire, every new concept you master, adds to your ability to generate wealth and impact the world around you. So never stop learning, whether it's through books, courses, mentors, or just self-reflection. Always be in pursuit of new knowledge. The world is constantly changing, and those who stop learning stop growing. And when you stop growing, you stop creating value. Keep learning, keep applying, and keep evolving. The more knowledge you gain, the more wealth you will create, not just in money, but in value, influence, and impact. Because when you know more, you can do more. And when you do more, wealth follows naturally. The temptation to have everything now is one of the greatest traps many people fall into. We live in a world where instant gratification is at our fingertips. Whether it's buying something online, getting a quick fix of pleasure, or expecting immediate rewards from our efforts. The problem with that mindset is simple. It's not sustainable. The wealthy understand this principle better than anyone. They know that true wealth, the kind that lasts, is built over time. And the key to that long-term success lies in the ability to delay gratification. I remember when I was younger, I too had moments of impatience, always thinking about what I could have right now. I wanted to make money quickly, to see results instantly. But the more I got caught up in that mindset, the more frustrated I became. It wasn't until I learned to discipline myself and adopt the mindset of long-term focus that everything began to shift. I learned that the key to wealth is not only in the ability to earn, but in the discipline to delay gratification. Consider this. Every time you choose instant gratification, you're making a choice that may feel good in the moment, but it doesn't lead to lasting success. Whether it's overspending, taking shortcuts, or not investing in your future, those decisions may give you temporary pleasure, but they don't contribute to the wealth you're building for the long haul. On the other hand, when you practice the discipline of waiting, of building slowly and steadily, you're laying the foundation for something far more valuable in the future. The wealthy don't chase after every shiny object that comes their way. They understand that patience, consistency, and long-term planning are the keys to lasting success. They don't make hasty decisions based on temporary desires. They invest in their future, knowing that the rewards will come, but only after time, effort, and discipline. Think about investing, for example. It's tempting to want to jump into something that promises quick returns, but that's where people often get burned. The real wealth builders understand that the key is steady, long-term investments that compound over time. Whether it's investing in the stock market, buying real estate, or investing in your education, the most successful people know that the results will come, but only after consistent effort and time. The same principle applies to every aspect of life, from health to relationships to personal development. You can't expect to achieve lasting success without putting in the work over time. The most important investment you can make is in your future, and that requires patience. When you practice self-discipline, when you choose long-term success over short-term satisfaction, you build wealth that doesn't just disappear with the next impulse. You're building something solid, something that will continue to grow and pay dividends for years to come. So, avoid the trap of instant gratification. Slow down, be patient, and let your wealth accumulate steadily over time. In the end, it's that slow, disciplined, focused effort that will create a legacy of wealth, success, and fulfillment. Wealth isn't about what you can grab quickly. It's about what you build carefully, thoughtfully, and with patience. As we reach the end of this journey together, remember this. You have the power to shape your future. The path to wealth isn't a quick fix. It's a process. A process that requires dedication, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to never settling for average. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers right away. But what you do need is to start. Take charge of your life today. Set high standards, build strong relationships, embrace resilience, and keep learning. Most importantly, keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. Every step you take brings you closer to the life you deserve. Success won't come overnight, but with persistence, patience, and the right mindset, it will come. Ask yourself, what's the next step I can take today to improve my future? Then take it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it.